Hi everybody, Gene here. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, where every single week we answer the most common and uncommon questions about tapping and EFT so you can eliminate self-sabotage and take the action that you want. Before we jump into today's episode, once again, just wanted to remind you, after doing our 30-day video tapping challenge and that going over so well, every single Monday I'm now adding new videos to the website so that you can tap along every Monday morning with me. If you would like to receive an email notification reminding you that there is a video there, and the notifications are really simple. It just basically says, hey, there's a video. This is the title. Here is the link. Give you a few minutes to tap along, but it's a great reminder for you every single Monday morning or whenever you get to it. If you'd like to receive those email reminders absolutely free, all you need to do is go to tappingqa.com/video. That's tappingqa.com/video. Enter your email address, and every single Monday, I will send you a reminder. This is Gene Montrestelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 418, originally aired January 1st, 2020. Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. Today we're going to talk about and tap about getting a fresh start, and January 1st is the perfect day for us to have that conversation. Before we do that, I just wanted to send a special thank you out to all of the people supporting the Tapping Q&A podcast. Every single month, 10% of the support that goes to the podcast is actually loaned out through Kiva. Kiva is a microloan site. We're able to support small business owners all over the world. And the really cool thing was when I sat down this morning to add the extra money from this particular month, I also got to re-lend out all of the money that had been paid back from other business owners. So today I got to support 6 different businesses all over the world because of support from people just like you. This month, one of the groups we're supporting is the Nasanthi Group, and I have no idea if I've pronounced that correctly, but they are a group of women in Senegal who are small business owners. Many of them are fisherwomen, and the money is going to supply them with better nets so they can continue to support their families. If you would like to support the Tapping Q&A podcast, receive some amazing bonuses because all of our supporters get great bonuses, and help to contribute to support small businesses all over the world, all you need to do is go to tappingqa.com/support. That's tappingqa.com/support. And the reason why you're able to get this high quality content a couple times a week is because of supporters like you. As a general rule, I am not the biggest fan of New Year's resolutions. And one of the main reasons why I'm not a super big fan of New Year's resolutions is, for the most part, they just don't work. Because if simply stating, this is the thing I want to do this year, this month, this week, were enough, we wouldn't need a special magical day like New Year's to do that. Now, at the exact same time, when we have anniversaries, when we have milestones, when we have markers, it does become a good time for us to think about and take a step back. And so for some people, that is a religious holiday. For some people, that is their birthday or an anniversary. And for some people, it's the first of the year. And so if we are able to take some time to really think about where we are, where we've been, and where we would like to go, and do that in a more deliberate way than just simply saying, my goal for this year is X, then that does become a really powerful tool. But simply, even with a thoughtful process like that, simply stating our intention for change, for most of us, in most cases, is not enough. That we need to be doing some other practice or practices around that to support the fact that we are taking action. Because if we're stating a goal of some sort, it means we want something new or different. Very rarely when someone is stating a New Year's resolution, do they say, I want this to be exactly the same as it's been for the last year. Now that does happen because sometimes we make change and we're just wanting to maintain where we are. But for the most part, when we're stating goals, when we're stating intentions, when we're stating resolutions, it's because we want something new. And because we are trying to do something new, it requires new action, or it requires us doing the same action at a higher frequency or with a higher sense of intensity or focus. And so we're asking ourselves to act in a new way, not just have something new, but moment to moment or day to day or week to week, we need to be doing something new. And willpower is really bad at doing something new over and over again. Instead, what we need to do is we need to be creating habits and routines and dispositions and changing the way we are in the world to do that. And because that is a harder thing, the reason why most resolutions fail is people try and only use willpower. They make them way too big, and 5 days later, they're falling behind, so they just give up and they move on. To that end, what I do want to do is I want to give you some tapping today that will help you as you are claiming resolutions and you are doing things in a new way, but not just doing it simply from a place of willpower, but doing it from a place where we can start to change and transform the emotions that we feel moment to moment so that we can create those new dispositions, we can create those new habits. So to begin with, what I want you to do is just tap on the side of your hand, take a nice big deep breath, and just move from tapping point to tapping point, repeating after me. I would like to begin again. I would like to begin in a new way. I want to create new dispositions. I want to take new actions. This is going to require me to change my old patterns. This is going to require me to move past past failures. This is going to require me to be in a new way in the moment. And I know a resolution is not enough. Simply stating my new goal is not enough. That's okay. That's part of the process. Everything that came before this moment created this moment. Everything that came before this moment created where I am standing today. That impacts the next action I can take, but that does not predetermine the next action I'm going to take. That does not mean I am stuck in this spot. That does not mean I have to repeat the past. Regardless where I am standing now, regardless what came before this moment, I can change. I can transform. I can act in new ways. From this fresh start, I can create something new. From this fresh start, I can act in new ways. I recognize that success is not an all or nothing proposition. I recognize this fresh start isn't going to happen all at once. Instead, it is going to come from deliberate action. Instead, it is going to come from deliberate thought. I know I'm going to fall into my old patterns. I know that this is going to take effort. And not all of my effort is going to work out the way that I would like. But with a fresh start, I get a new way of moving forward. And this deliberate action can add up into something new. This deliberate action can add up into something better. I can do this in a thoughtful way. I will do this in a deliberate way. I am always creating something new. With this fresh start, I choose to deliberately create something new. Not to simply let the day happen to me, but to choose with intent. To move forward in a thoughtful way. Little by little, creating something new. Choice by choice, creating something new. Transformation is not all or nothing. And I give myself permission to incrementally move to a new place. Nice big deep breath. Some of the points in there that I think are important for us to really pay attention to is where we are dictates where we go next, but it doesn't predetermine what comes next. And change is not a switch that we flip as much as we would like it to be. It is more going to be something that happens over time as we add and transform habits and add and transform disposition. And if we do that, then the next thing we know, we're going to be acting in ways that we didn't think were even possible as we move forward in successful ways. If you know someone who could use something like this to start off their year as well, or if you're finding this well in the future after we recorded this, please pass it along, share it with someone. The easiest way for someone to find a new resource is from the recommendation of a friend. And if you set someone up in your life to have a successful new year and really make true transformation, the transformation they have is going to benefit all of us because we live in community and all of our choices impact each other for better or for worse. And so if we get people acting in a healthier, more deliberate way, it's good for all of us. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the podcast. In podcasting parlance, subscribe is free. If you go into Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, Stitcher, or anywhere else you listen to audio, if you just search for Tapping Q&A, you will find the Tapping Q&A podcast. It is always free to download. If you haven't done so already, we have a free 10-part guide to help you to eliminate self-sabotage. All you need to do is go to tappingqa.com, click on the blue button, and you will receive that guide absolutely free. Every day we send you another resource, a tap along, a video, some instruction to make it easier for you to make change, just like we've been talking about and tapping about today. If you have a question or a comment, I can always be reached, Gene, Gene, at tappingqa.com, or you can click on the contact link on the website or inside the Tapping Q&A app. I would love to hear from you, topics, things you'd like us to tap on, people I should interview in the new year, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of interviews after the first of the year and really start off the spring in a powerful way as we hear from some great change work professionals. Please let me know who you'd like to hear from or topics you'd like us to cover. It'll make a huge difference for everybody in the audience. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrestelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrestelli, Tapping Q&A 2016. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrestelli or Tapping Q&A.